And then there's this, the election of Zohran Mamdani as New York City mayor already sparking an exodus out of New York, even before he's sworn in. Florida's real estate market reportedly seeing a reported $100 million boom as wealthy New Yorkers look to escape higher taxes and other promised socialist policies. In 2023, more than 7 million Americans moved to a different state, many of those headed south. In that year, Florida added over 136,000 residents alone. More than 71,000 of those came from New York. Joining me now is Miami Mayor Francis Suarez. Mr. Mayor, great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Great to be with you, Maria.
So what has happened in Miami and in Florida as a result of these socialist policies in New York? And do you expect a spike once Mamdani gets in place?
I think Mamdani might replace de Blasio as the realtor of the year in Miami. And yes, I do. I expect there to be anywhere from a 20% to as high as 40% spike based on, people at the top end of the wealth pyramid who, of course, don't want to be taxed any more than they're already being taxed. I think they're being taxed over 50% of their wealth right now, of their income, which means that the government is your partner and you're the silent partner. And then I think people of the Jewish faith, from what I'm hearing, who feel very, very comfortable in Miami, are also, I think, thinking about leaving. So you're talking about two distinct groups which make up a significant part of the tax base of New York. It will create what I call a death spiral because it will create a budget deficit that will have to be filled with increasing taxes, which will create a bigger budget deficit, which will have to be increased, be filled with increasing taxes. So it creates a death spiral, and it could lead to a very, very, sad situation in New York that hopefully doesn't happen, but looks more and more likely every day.
Well, how have you managed this spurt of new people coming into Miami?
We've tried to grow our way out of it. I mean, we have built significantly. Since I became mayor, our tax base was $40 billion. This is a combination of property value increases and new construction. It is now $132 billion. So it's a 300% increase in just about the time that I've been mayor. So we've had to supply our way through it. We can grow 10 times larger than what we are based on our zoning code. So we're going to continue to grow. To try to keep prices as low as we possibly can and meet the demand that's inevitable. The one thing that we do struggle with, and we're going to have to find ways to solve, is the demand for schools. Obviously, in particular, people coming from New York, have high-end demands. Our public school system is doing phenomenally well. I just interviewed Jeff Bezos, who's a product of our public school system, obviously the founder of Blue Origins and also, of course, Amazon. So we have a good public school system, but our private school system is having a hard time keeping up with the growth and the demands.
It's incredible to me that you're being forced to manage all these new services and accommodate so many new people coming in. And do you expect that New York loses people because of this new leadership?
Unfortunately, I think it's inevitable, Maria, and I think it's sad. What we do in Miami is frankly what every city in America should do. We do three things, and we do three things well. We keep taxes low. We keep people safe. We have record low homicide rates this year. And we lean into American innovation. So we brought companies that manage over $13 trillion in assets. We've increased our venture capital pipeline by over 500%. We were ranked #1 in the nation for tech job growth and tech job migration. We have the lowest unemployment in America, less than 2%, and the highest median wage growth in America. So people are doing better. They're more prosperous in Miami than they've ever been before. And the lowest homeless rate in 11 years, which is something that a lot of blue cities are struggling with.
Well, look, you've done an incredible job as mayor. Congratulations, Mayor Suarez. Everybody wants to know what you're going to do next now that your term is coming to an end. Should we expect you to join the Trump administration in some form?
Well, listen, I have a great relationship with the president. He just came to Miami for the America Business Forum that I led. We are hopefully going to give him a wonderful presidential library. I gave him the keys to the presidential library in Miami. And so, we have a great relationship. Obviously, I respect him. I think he's done a phenomenal job on world affairs. And if there's a way for me to serve the country and help him with his agenda, certainly I would strongly consider it. It's hard to say no to the big guy, when he calls you. But he's become a very good friend. I admire him. I love his personality, his energy, the way he manages things, his outside the box thinking, and his approach to domestic and foreign affairs. He's been He's had one of the most consequential presidencies in our history, really, and certainly in my lifetime. So it would be something that would obviously be interesting to me, someone who's dedicated basically my whole life to public service, too.
Well, he's also used economic levers to prioritize growth in the U.S. Now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is pushing to eliminate property taxes in the state for homestead or primary residence. He's urging lawmakers to back it up with a constitutional amendment on the 2026 ballot. What are your thoughts on changing the tax structure in Florida to keep this wave of new people coming in?
Look, obviously, I like it. I'm a homeowner, too, right? So I would love to not have to pay property taxes on my primary residence. For a city like Miami, for primary residence, it's about 10% of the budget. So it would require us to shave about 10% of the budget. Obviously, the last thing I want to do is cut wages for my police officers or my firefighters, or reduce my police force or my fire department, particularly my police department, because we've had some incredible gains in terms of homicide reduction. When I got in as mayor, we're a little bit over 83. Last year, we're at 27. Our lowest ever in history was 24, and our highest ever is 220. So we definitely don't want to defund our police. We don't want to do anything that reduces, resources for our police department. But I do think that people deserve tax relief. I do think that you can probably get by with 90% of the revenue by implementing efficiency measures. So it'll be interesting to see if it gets on the ballot. I'm sure it'll be a very popular measure. I certainly would vote for it as a resident, for sure.
Also, Governor DeSantis' final year in the governor's mansion. Close to 30 candidates now vying for that job. Florida Congressman Byron Donalds joined the race back in February, earning President Trump's endorsement. He raised more than $31 million so far. But now 30-year-old DeSantis ally and investor James Fishback signaling he will launch his own campaign. He says he wants to build on Governor DeSantis' historic record, boost affordability, and favor American citizens over illegals. But Politico is reporting that a Trump strategist calls it foolish to run against Byron Donalds, adding Byron has the trust and support of President Trump, a massive war chest, and the entire MAGA movement lined up behind him. Mayor Suarez, what is your reaction to this now increasing race to become governor of Florida?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that commentator. I agree that it's really going to be really hard to beat, Byron Donalds with the president's support, with the war chest he has, with the MAGA community. He's gone on, both conservative and more liberal stations to defend the MAGA agenda. He's paid his dues in that respect. I don't know who this other person is. Obviously, people like Vivek Ramaswamy, people in business, young people in business have had success in politics, and it's great that they do it. You know what I mean? It's obviously great to have people in business who have been successful run for office. I do believe in that. Rick Scott was a very successful businessman. He became governor. He's now a U.S. senator. But I do think that Byron has the inside track, and I don't see that changing between now and the nomination.
All right, we will leave it there. Mayor, great to see you this morning. Thanks so much.
Great to see you, Maria. It's always fun to be with you.
And to you, Mayor Francis Suarez, joining us. We'll be right back.